Hello fellow humans and welcome to the KV5. Now it is in the shop for 5.5k gold, and one thing I do want to mention before that is that they're also selling something else, and that is that. Don't buy that, that's a scam. It's not even a bad bundle, it's just a literal scam at this point. So don't buy that. E25, I mean it's not really relevant anymore, but if you want it, sure, but I don't mind. Not gonna stop you. Now, KV5, that's the interesting part, and that's what this video is for. I just don't think the other two deserve their own video. I mean, this one would deserve a rant, but I can't be bothered to get mad, so here we are. Now, the KV5 is good now, kind of. So, what they have done to this bundle, it is the same bundle, essentially, as the T34 for 5.5k gold. Now, obviously, ignore this price. It never existed. It is just marketing. What they did is they stripped the 14 days of premium time, which is very sad, and they added 2 useless collect them all containers. So in terms of the bundle, it is definitely a downgrade. But now let's have a look at the tank. Let's compare it and let's see if the tank's worth it, and then let's play it. And obviously, before we get into it, I would appreciate if you'd like and subscribe if you are enjoying the video. And also don't forget to check out the links in the description to my Discord server and also my second channel. That would be very nice. So 2,280 DPM, which is relatively solid. Definitely can take that. The penetration is good enough. Obviously, this vehicle has 2 guns, but only one of them is actually playable, so always equip the second one that has the APCR and heat. Now, the penetration isn't great. The heat penetration is on par with the standard penetration of the T34, so the T34 does remain the king of budget gaming, basically, with that bundle, because it has amazing penetration, it has good alpha damage, and it is relatively good to begin with as a vehicle. You got 320 on the KV5, which is another downside. Now, obviously, what the KV5 does have is the armor, but we'll have a look at that later. Now, aim time, not too bad, but it's slightly worse than a T34, which already isn't great. But the dispersion, that's where the T34 gets bitten in the ass, and that's where I would like to see a change of that vehicle, either in the dispersion or the mobility, because while it's a good budget tank, it's not really that great anymore, so yeah. But anyway, 7 degrees on the KV5, so that's not great there. It is, well, the mobility is somewhat the same. I mean, you won't notice a difference in battle pretty much. You are going to notice the traverse speed difference, but you won't notice the speed difference between them, because obviously, like, 0.2 in effective horsepower is not going to make a difference to you visibly. So in terms of that, they're relatively equal. And then in the armor, that is essentially where the KV5 does better. Now, obviously, the KV5 performs better, but, I mean, they're sold completely differently and played completely differently, so we can ignore that for the meantime. Now, obviously, another bonus the KV5 has is the armor, which makes it perform better, because armor is the noob's skill. So let's have a look at that. Now, what Wargaming did is they're like, let's buff it. And they did. And now it has relatively good armor. I mean, 220mm. It's going to be relatively effective against a lot of standard tier 8 rounds, but obviously every tier 8 premium round is just going to go straight through. So that is no threat there. Obviously, if the enemy can't aim, they might hit this middle plate, stuff like that. But overall, the effective armor everywhere is around 200 to 250mm for most part of the vehicle. It can somewhat side scrape the sides 150mm thick. However, you do have to watch out for this plate sticking out where the turret is located on. So it's not very big though, so you'll be fine most likely. It can side scrape, but obviously this plate here, you gotta watch out for it. It's not the thickest. However, obviously, because it got buffed, it got relatively solid front armor now. It is a solid choice. I wouldn't say, well, the bundle is certainly worse than a T34. It probably is going to be the easier option to play. So here we go with the KV5, and obviously we're not going to go into the city because that is a very bad idea. And also this thing has 7 degrees of gun depression, so there's no need to. It's not that useless. So this is one of the tanks that or the bundles rather, that I don't hate, and that's about as glorious praise as you'll get from me, unless it's a AMX M449 or a Chimera or something like that, because that's a different league. Now, 5.5k for this one is a pretty solid deal. Now, you obviously have to decide for yourself whether you want this vehicle or not, because while it is more mobile than the average fat, useless super heavy, like a VK168, it is definitely on the sluggish side. And they're also going city, which is good for us. So unless our team throws away, this is basically a free win. So let's have a look. Gonna sit in the cap circle for now. Maybe get some pressure going. 7 degrees of gun pressure is definitely good enough to play this spot. Now, the problem with this thing is you have armor towards the average 40%er and towards the tier 7. But if you have any form of intelligence on the enemy team, which given is rare, you're gonna get penned quite easily because they'll load premium rounds and boom, you get penned. So that is definitely not nice, but it does have very solid protection, which is not too bad. And as you can see, that's a standard round from the 2RTU pen. So you have enough armor to avoid getting shot by your average baboon. So that's already something. Alright, there's a T-28 HTC, one of the worst tanks to ever exist, period. So I don't know why anyone would buy that, but I guess, yeah. There we go. Should be quite easy. Obviously that thing, it has armor, but it doesn't actually have armor. Let's have another shot at his side, and then now he should be about dead. See if someone's going to finish him off. The object side scraping, but he could do that better. That's not side scraping, mate. See, that's what I mean. He's side scraping well, and the 53 TP is like, huh? What? That's your average spread of Blitz players. And towards this guy, the armor might not be as much of a threat, but you know, some other people, they're gonna just be completely oblivious to what's even happening. Alright. Let's have a look. He's still just... Hey, mate. That was nice, actually, by the way, but that's to be expected of this thing. Obviously, you don't want to fire at long range too much. Especially also with the 2 of TU, because then that happens. I'm kind of trying to, like, expose myself on purpose so you can see what happens. Or how likely someone is to pen. But it's not working, as you can see, 2.5k damage. It's like, even if I try to play bad, I do better than the average player, and that's just annoying, because... Man, I'm good enough. I don't care anymore. Here we go. Gonna have some heat rounds into the AT. A side scrape, sort of off the rock. There we go. He can't pen me. There we go. And now they're stuck in the city, which, I mean, that's what they do. Alrighty, now 2 have TU. I'm still full HP, but now ideally, what you want to do here is set up side scrape and go around like this. But yeah, takes time, and that's boring. So I'm now going to just do that and have a good peek. Now, the T-49 here is in a good position for me because he's essentially blocking my lower plate from the 53 TP and also the AT. So that is not too bad. And that one went into the top of the cupola. So side scraping did work. Alright, AT. Probably not going to be accurate for that. And there we go. 4k damage. That is solid. How about some of that? And now, we're just going to have to get another shot into the 30U. And that is the KV5. It works when it works. It's pretty solid. And it's not going to be a 100% recommendation, as in you need to own it. But if you are looking for a premium tank and you don't really like the style of a T-34 or a T-54A2, and you want something heavier, something more super heavy-ish, then this definitely is a recommendation for those that like this playstyle and that have done it before. If you have never played a tank like this, obviously don't buy a premium tank on it. But if you have played tanks like this before and that you enjoy that kind of tank, then I can definitely recommend that for you. But otherwise, I would stay away from it, even though this is a relatively solid bundle. And what we don't want to do is go into the city again, because you don't want to do that. It's bad. You end up in a bad position, you don't get the map control, and you end up fighting at 90-degree corners, which are not advantageous for the one that peaks. So that's not good. Cities are badly designed in Blitz, and they're in general bad for tanks, so, you know, if you want to have that bit of realism, you don't want to go city. And, I mean, it's a stock 53 TP, but at least he's pushing, so that it's dumb, but it works, I guess, sometimes, because he'll find out whether there's enemies down there. Alrighty, now, they have only got one light tank, we only got one medium, so we should be free up here. Yep, okay. No, here. That's good. Scorpion G is camping. There's a Smasher somewhere, an SU somewhere. I would, at this point, be very much expecting all of them to camp in the spawn. Obviously, they could also be... Yep, right there. So, hello, lightweight. Anyway, Smasher is camping. That's a supreme specimen of player right there. And now we gotta get this guy tracked. Get away. Annihilator is not OP, as not as OP as people think it is. It can't pen anything. So, I don't know what your problem is, but just have a tank with armor. It can't pen you. Smasher, it can pen anything. That's what OP is. Okay. Scorpion is going to, even though with this, I think 250 millimeters of penetration, he's might somewhat struggle. So, that's the strength of the KV-5, is it's somewhat noob-proof. But it's never Smasher-proof. It is never Smasher-proof. That is what a truly OP vehicle is. That is what OP is. If it's a tier lower, and it's still gonna dominate you because it has higher alpha damage, higher penetration, and better gun overall. So, Smasher is, I think, the only tank that I truly consider to be 100% OP, because you can't fight back against it most of the time. So, let's have a look at the Scorpion G now. 3 versus 4, which is not great. Did lose quite a lot of hit points here. It's gonna get this fatty through. There we go. And the 45 TP, he's gonna be somewhat of a melon. So that's not gonna be a problem. Obviously no camo, he's capping, also no clan, so that is also stock engine. That's not gonna be a threat, really, to us. However, the Scorpion G is obviously the biggest threat, because first of all, he can pen me and he also can one-shot me. So that is going to be somewhat difficult. Especially also now, with the Löwe having yeeted himself into the next dimension. Nope. Gonna have to pull back. Gonna have to not have him pin. Right, perfect. And now, I'm basically gonna have to dummy the Vindicator as extra front armor here. Or have him do that. Why would you play that thing, mate? What are you doing? Just... Man... If you go outside, go for a walk, exercise, that's better than that tank. Reaction time, mate. Gotta go faster. Train your reaction time. Play some CSGO. Alright, 3k damage again. This is... Yeah, it's fine so far. Obviously, the SU is a one-shot. The 50 TP is a lemon. He's also slow. There we go. IS-5 is gonna be a threat. However, I am only a limited one-shot, as in, if he high rolls, I'm dead. If he doesn't, then I'm not dead, so... Let's have a look at that. If the Vindicator would be able to take out the... Ideally, what would be better if the 45... for the Vindicator could take a heat shot at the IS-5, but he didn't, so that is somewhat unfortunate. And now, he can't get through on that side as far as I know, but obviously if I reverse too far, he can pen me. So I'm gonna have to play the safe. What are you doing, mate? Now, the IS-5 is a great option for budget gaming. If you only have a very limited amount of gold, then that is a very great option to buy. However, we still kind of know how to play, you know? Like, come on, do something. There we go. He did something. He did something. 4.5k again. That's relatively solid, and here he comes. I watch him kill me. Come on. You can do it, mate. Come on! Come on, you can do it. Come on. Never mind, you can't. Yep. That's me. That's not the tank. But anyway, that's relatively solid, I'd say. And hope you enjoyed. And it can definitely be an absolute beast in the hands of the right... How did I even get 5 kills? Didn't even notice. But it can definitely be a beast in the right hands, but you have to like it. I personally don't like it that much. But it is a pretty good vehicle for a pretty good price. So if you want it, hell, go for it. And also, thank you very much to my channel members and also to those that donate. Really appreciate it. Helps out a lot. And if you want to support the channel as well, check out the membership below. Thank you for watching. See you next one. Goodbye.